What is up?
Welcome back. That's becoming a thing.
Is that going to be our new riff?
I guess.
Welcome back.
No.
What the fuck?
I was gonna try to, wait, did we harmonize?
No, you do it, man. Just take the wheel.
Just Leah take the wheel. Yeah.
Sing the riff you were doing.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Maybe I could. Now I'm doing that. Get up off of that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm doing now.
Dun, 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 dun.
My bad.
Robots.
Welcome to Sisational, guys.
Welcome back.
Welcome. I'm Jac.
Welcome back.
I'm Jac.
And I'm Leah.
And we are so excited to be hanging out with you guys today.
Yeah, I'm honored. I'm really excited about what we're going to talk about today.
This is cool, I think. I'm a sucker for a good quote.
You're just a sucker.
I'm a sucker.
You're a sucker.
I'm just a sucker.
Wow. Okay.
I'm a really good sucker.
Okay.
Feel free to take that out of context and do whatever you want with it. Hey, if it goes viral, it goes viral.
Oh my God.
I'm kidding. Sort of. So, so I'm a sucker for a good quote.
Yeah, I love being inspired. That gets me going. Like just being inspired about life, and I don't know. I love it. I'm so excited.
I like being inspired. I also like quotes that kind of remind me of truths that I don't know how to articulate myself.
Yes, or that you've lost along the way.
Yeah, 100%. So, you want to kick us off, or do you want me to start?
I feel like you should.
Okay.
Because, I don't know. It feels right.
Okay. If it feels right, it feels right.
Okay.
Now, I haven't quite put these in the order that I probably...
Shame on you.
I know.
Come on, Jac.
I know. But they're all good. They're all good.
Yeah.
The other little disclaimer I just want to say is that I'm a real big fan of James Clear. And so I have several quotes of his. So just, I'm not trying to...
You have a favorite. It's okay.
I have a favorite. Yeah. Teacher's Pet or whatever the fuck.
Ew.
So...
Isn't that a singer too, James Clear?
No, you're thinking of...
James Bay?
Yeah.
Wasn't there another one? I thought there was a Clear.
There is a Clear, I think.
I thought.
But it's not him.
Okay.
He doesn't sing, but he made a fantastic book called Atomic Habits, which you guys should totally check out.
Atomic Habits?
Atomic Habits. Oh my God.
Ooh.
But this quote is not his quote.
Okay.
This quote is by Helene Massicot.
Ooh.
I pray to God I'm saying her name right.
Is that Russian?
I kind of thought it was French. I could be wrong. I don't know. Is that Russian?
I'm not going to claim that we know.
I don't know at all. Definitely didn't study linguistics or whatever that's considered. But the quote is, "We're human beings, not human doings.
Yes.
We're meant to follow natural rhythms. Sprint, recover. Sprint, recover."
Oh, I love that.
And I heard this quote from one of the Optimal Living Daily podcast episodes.
Oh.
We talk about this in our favorite podcasts and why we listen to them. And I can't remember the specific show, like if it was Relationships Daily, Optimal Living Daily, or whatever, but they read blog posts. And Helene Massicot wrote a blog post, and this was one of the quotes from the blog post, and I absolutely love it.
You just reminded me of a quote from them that I forgot about.
Amazing.
That I really liked. Dang, this is going to be...
We had a feeling we would remember a couple other quotes that we liked as we're doing this. So, totally cool by me. The more quotes, the merrier, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I got the podcast episode saved where I got this quote. I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
Do it.
I got this quote, this idea from the Optimal Living Daily. And it was from the podcast episodes, Why You Lost Your Childlike Creativity and How to Rediscover It. And it was like a part 1 and part 2 episode. And what's discovered is that why you lose your childlike creativity is because you learn how to critique yourself along the way as you're trying to create. And the brain can't create efficiently and critique yourself at the same time. It's like as a child, when you're playing in the sandbox, you're just focused on creating and you're not judging yourself as you're playing in the sandbox and how you're playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And because our background in music, we were just critiquing ourselves before we even sang the lyric or how we sang the lyric. And I just lost that. I lost being able to create like a child because I was judging myself so harshly as I'm trying to create.
Right. It's like editing while you're writing.
Right. And both are good, but you have to be able to freely create in a safe space. Like give yourself that
Yes.
safe. It was so great. It was mind opening for me because I'm now trying to practice just like creating, not having to tear it apart as I'm creating it.
Yeah. It's giving yourself a freedom, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. There's another quote that you remind me of that I'm going to look up really quick.
Oh my God.
I don't know if I'm going to come up. I don't know if I'm going to cross. I'm not sure if I'm going to find the quote.
Okay.
But the concept was, instead of finding yourself or discovering yourself, you're returning to who you were before the world and all that stuff got to you.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Which really does coincide well with the inner child concept, because there are things that we've suppressed or we've abandoned in ourselves.
Oh, that's so good.
That we've neglected, right? And instead of finding this new person, there's a lot of us that have parts of us that have existed for so long that we just
buried it.
We buried it. And so it's not always about finding something new. It's about returning to. Rediscovering something that was there.
Right.
That's still there.
I love that.
That one hit me different when I heard that or read that for the first time.
Yeah.
So,
because that's something I think that we've been working on. Like
100%. And you're also kind of trying to unbury, right? To dig up what's authentic to you and not what other people, other expectations have been projected onto you.
Yes.
You know? And that can take some work to find that if you've buried it pretty deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Another quote that I have that I really love. Oh my gosh, you're going to hear me say this all the time, but love everything that you buy. Please. Like, it can be anything. I know I heard it from an interior decorating podcast. I'm really bad. I don't know which one it was. I'm going to try. I need to like research. And I know it's either how to decorate or like decorating tips and tricks. It was like one of those two podcasts.
Okay.
But basically they were talking on, you know how you have to buy the annoying stuff like fly swatters and trash cans.
100%.
You're obviously not going to love a trash can, but when you have to buy a trash can, make it a trash can that you really like. Maybe you really love the color of that trash can, and it just, I don't know.
Maybe you love the functionality.
If it has like the foot button, or like the
foot pedal.
Just love that version of what you have to buy.
Right.
And that's changed my life. Like I literally love my house more just because it's the weird miscellaneous stuff too that I'm like, oh yeah, that was a good find, or I got it for a good deal and I really love it.
In a way, it's also being more intentional with the small stuff.
Yeah.
The small purchases.
And I've had like no buyer's remorse this whole year.
Wow.
From adopting this mindset. And it'll take you longer. That's the thing. Like it was kind of annoying because when we moved, instead of just buying some curtains to throw up, we spent a couple months without curtains because I was saving up for some curtains that I really loved. But I got them and I love it. It wasn't an ugly pattern that I didn't waste money.
Yeah.
You know, like throwing up something I didn't really love and then eventually buying something else later that I love.
It's a little bit of a delayed gratification.
Yeah, it is. And that takes, I want to say discipline to be able to sit through that and to not just...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just
fix
it now. Like you have to be patient.
Yeah.
But it's worth it.
Yeah. That's so cool. And I would also, I guess, see it as like, say you are looking in the store or online and you haven't found the thing yet, like at all. Like it's not what you're looking for. Do you just still kind of wait and kind of put it off? Yeah. I like that.
That happened to me. Oh, what was it with? It's happened to me with a desk lamp. I don't have a desk lamp that I really, really love right now. And I have one that I like, it works, it's cute, but it's not the permanent
solution to that.
Solution, it's just one that I had.
Right.
But I'm going to wait till I
find that right one.
Find the right one. You're like, oh yeah, this is it.
Oh my God. That's cool.
I live this out. Okay.
Do you have any tips for people looking online that want to know that they've got the right thing? Because if it's in a store, you know, you can see it, you can touch it, you can... Because I go by reviews a lot.
Yeah, go by reviews for sure. And pictures, like, you know...
Yeah.
Because people will take all different kinds of quality photos.
Yeah, try to see if the consistency in the photos.
Videos. Sometimes they'll put up videos. And sometimes Amazon will have something that is in a local store that, like, if you're looking online at Home Goods, but can go to your Home Goods and look at it in person, you can do that.
True.
So it depends.
True. This one is about anxiety a little bit. It is by Dr. Henry Link. And the quote is, "We generate fears while we sit, we overcome them by action. And it is tough to do when you are paralyzed by that fear and you have to break that. But I would say, for me, the more evidence I have of things that I am doing, even if I haven't reached the goal, right? If I have progress to show for myself, that makes all the difference to me. Because I'm like, okay, I haven't done nothing. I have done stuff.
Right.
It might be taking me longer. I might have underestimated the amount of time it was going to take or details I missed. So if you're feeling anxious about something, try doing something even small towards it, because the buildup of that and that buildup of a positive feedback loop in that way, not only can you feel proud and validated about what progress you've made, but it does help confidence, I think, because it gives you some authentic, like, I've really done this. Even if it's small starting.
It's helping you believe in yourself.
It is helping believe in yourself because you're not just thinking about it and ruminating on the thing. You have action to show for it. And that does speak to even yourself more than just your plans, just your thoughts.
Yeah. I think it's also important to address, why are you fearful?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, why are you scared to do the
Why are
thing?
you scared? Because then when you can really recognize that, because we had a pretty intense conversation on why I was fearful of some stuff.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yes, we did.
And that like really helped me. So it's like knowing why you're scared and seeing that clear as day and then being able to do the work on that.
Yeah, and even if it's a small step at a time, like that is better than nothing. That's better than not doing anything.
Absolutely.
Which I like, progress versus perfection, right? It's that, but it's a little bit more specific to anxiety and fear. Because I think,
one of the ones that I try to live by more regularly is, and I don't know who it's by, this quote, but it's be the person you needed when you were younger. And the concept of you have to be your own friend and you have to be on your own team, because there's sometimes when you are the only person on your own team and you are your only friend. Sometimes it really feels that way. But hopefully you don't feel that way with this podcast. That's one of the reasons why we honestly did it.
Exactly, yeah.
You have to know how to be your own friend. And you can't be that same voice in your head that the bullies were to you. You can't recreate that for yourself. That's not being a friend to you. It's important to respect your relationship with yourself.
Yeah. Another one that I like, and now we're getting into some James Clear quotes.
James Clear.
Got a few of them in this list. Before you try to increase your willpower, try to decrease the friction in your environment.
Oh.
So instead of just saying, I am totally going to the gym, even though it's rainy, it's cold, it's far away, I am tired as hell. You know, like,
all valid.
Whatever it is, like whatever the obstacles are, maybe it's, I'm going to do a couple sit-ups in my living room.
Yeah, because you don't have to face all the friction.
And that gives you less excuse to not do the thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, so reducing friction, that could be as simple as adjusting your bedtime. That could be maybe trying to shift your schedule around. Like if you perform better at a certain task later on in the day, try to do it later on in the day instead of expecting it right out the gate in the morning. Like, you know you, and it might be good to start observing your own patterns and behaviors to try to set yourself up for a win by knowing when the environment feels like it's working against you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Working smarter, not harder.
In a way, yes.
In a way.
Yeah. But reduce the friction in your environment, and that is James Clear.
Wow,
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. This is one by Mel Robbins. Oh my God,
We
Mel.
love her.
She's a powerhouse. And it is, your past is a lesson, not a life sentence. Forgive yourself and focus on the future.
That says so much.
So much.
You
I don't know if you screwed up in your past. Doesn't mean you can't be a great person. Doesn't mean that you don't deserve contributing something great to the world. It's just
that you can't redeem yourself later. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
That's good. Another James Clear for you.
James Clear. James Clear. Okay, I'll stop.
The ultimate form of preparation is not planning for a specific scenario, but a mindset that can handle uncertainty.
A man after your own heart.
I know. This is something I've very much struggled with.
Yeah.
Uncertainty.
Yes.
And it definitely comes, I think a lot of people will relate to this, wanting to control stuff, right? Wanting to control the result, the outcome, the grade, sometimes the relationship, the person.
Because it feels safe if you know exactly what's going on and what's going to happen.
Exactly. And there's so many times in life where uncertainty is bound to happen and to maybe happen for a long time.
It's part of being alive.
Part of being alive, part of pursuing goals, pursuing things that are risky in some way that are outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
There's always going to be uncertainty. And planning for specific things, I think, is very important to achieving certain goals. Like, you need to plan for when things do go off track. That is very, very true. And even James Clear talks about that in other quotes and stuff, where you do have to plan for if things go awry. Like, that's just if you really are serious about achieving something, right? But there's also situations where unknowns and uncertainty are all that abound, and you have to be able to manage that to then figure out your next steps. And if you're just stuck in the pit of that uncertainty, you're going to have trouble moving forward from that.
Right.
You know? And
right.
if you have
you're
anxiety,
so consumed with that.
You're consumed with it, of course. And when you pair that with anxiety, that can get a little extra juicy. So whatever steps you can take to help that mindset. For me, this year, I started on some Zoloft. And, I've done so many other things on my own to help myself. But sometimes you have to take other small steps to combat the little obstacles that are in your way. And uncertainty can get the best of me at times. And one of the things I'm doing to kind of help combat that is Zoloft. That was this year, or I guess last year, 2022. So, yeah.
Is he a psychologist, James Clear?
No, he went to some college. The beginning of his book talks about how he was injured as a child, like traumatically injured, and he was in sports and stuff. And he had to sort of physically rehabilitate certain muscles and stuff. And
oh, no.
He's behind in school. He was alone a lot as he was trying to get better. And so he got serious about sports and weightlifting and stuff in, I think, college, maybe right before college, like going into college, because he was so active as a child and that got taken away from him. So then he wanted to do everything he could to like embrace that part of him again and really kind of go full in.
Oh, yeah.
His accident as a child kind of really propelled him to take whatever he had in his control, because he didn't have a lot in his control for an extended period of time when his body was out of whack. So a lot of this is, I think, some really strong mental fortitude that he learned and built for himself as he grew and as he went into college and stuff. But he started with like this email newsletter.
Yeah.
I'm still subscribed to it. It's called the 321 Thursday newsletter or whatever. And he started with that, and then he wrote the book, Atomic Habits.
Okay.
I mean, he's been helping people for years, with this newsletter. So please check him out. Like, if you at all have been frustrated with like trying to establish habits, routines or something, things that matter to you, things that will help change your life in some way, check it out, because he really makes some of this stuff bite-sized and makes it believable and realistic.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
We love that.
And, to the thing about decreasing your environment as well, something I kind of forgot to say was that one of his biggest pieces of advice for starting something new, like a new habit, is to make it as consistent as possible, but make it super easy to do. So if you're just trying to start running, or maybe you want to start playing an instrument, maybe it's not learn a whole piece a day.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just go and strum the guitar a few times before you take a shower. Create a consistent schedule or opportunity for you to do the thing and make it tiny so that even on your worst days, you could still do this thing. Because it's all about making it consistent. It's the consistencies that create this crazy change over time, this crazy trajectory. So please check them out.
Consistency is key.
Consistency is key.
Wow.
I sound like I said consistency is gay. Consistency is key.
Key.
I'm sorry.
I almost said key-E-Y.
Key-E-Y.
Key.
Yeah.
Oh my God. William James. Do you know who he is?
No.
I don't. But he has a great quote. And it is, when you have to make a choice and you don't make it, that in itself is a choice. Choosing not to take action is a choice. Choosing to sit with people who aren't the best for you is a choice.
Right. It's kind of the third option, right? Like if people give you like choice A, choice B, and there's also not choosing either one.
Right.
That's still choosing.
It's still listed as Amy was saying. It's still an answer in the multi-choice questions. It's true. Neither A, B, or C. Wow.
Wow. So this quote is from Danielle.
James Clear. Oh.
No, I think I do have another one of his later.
I'm not surprised.
This one is from Danielle Colding, and this is a really cool one. It's about quality of life. So, quality of life is having the freedom to make choices that are not fear-based. Whether it's the ability to choose the kinds of projects I want to take on and can learn from, or the ability to take a month off to travel. Freedom to choose is the ultimate luxury.
Freedom to choose is the ultimate luxury.
And in a way, I kind of think of it too, like it can be as simple as not having to worry about what groceries you're buying. Like to me, that means you've made it in some way. In terms of success, like that's a part of the definition of success is I don't have to worry about the money for groceries, or I have the freedom to choose, right? Like I'm not limited to just certain, I don't know, types of brands or off brands, right? Like that is in itself quite a luxury.
Wow. I love that.
And as she says, not fear-based.
Right, because even dreams, even big aspirations, you can still be inspired to do because out of fear of time running out, out of fear of like not wanting to do enough with your life and wanting to do something big, I don't know, just because. I mean, based off of fear that you won't be able to.
Or like not being enough in some way. So you have to compensate it with something big. Yeah, or something ambitious.
Yeah. Fear is never a good motivator, in other words.
I'm not going to say never because there are times when sometimes you need a good deadline to get your butt into your chair and to yeah.
But it's like, and I feel like if there is a deadline, people should want to do it just because they're trying to do it before the deadline. If they value their job, they're going to do it before the deadline.
Yeah, but I think that there's still a small element of fear.
You could be fearful of the consequences if you don't get it done by that deadline.
And I think a little bit of that is healthy because it also makes for a little bit of a challenging test. Okay, I have to do this thing. I have only so much time to do it. Different people are going to react differently to deadlines, but a lot of the time it can be a motivator. It should not be the only motivator, I think. But it can be a part of those motivators. But in terms of the way she's talking about fear-based decisions, there have been times in my life where I have felt like I don't have the ability to say no because the consequences are going to be so great that I can't choose what I really want to choose. And I don't wish that for any of you. I don't wish that for, my sister Leah, who's sitting across from me, because I don't want anybody to feel cornered. And when you feel cornered or trapped, right? Like
that isn't a choice.
It really isn't at the end of the day. And I think that, you want to get out of that. If it's feeling like that, if it's feeling like you're cornered and you don't have quite the autonomy that you should, something's got to go. Something's got to change. Yeah.
Something's got to give.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to making decisions not based on fear, like I have to be really mindful of that because even some of my desires to like travel and stuff is to live a beautiful life before I don't got it anymore. And like, yeah, that might inevitably always be part of the equation, but like how much of that is motivating you to do the said thing? Like what if just traveling because you just want to or to make the memory with family? Like making sure the healthy, I don't know, not so anxiety based.
More of a want, not more of a should. If it's like, I really should do this before I run out of time. If you're making a lot of should, have to decisions, like that is a little bit of a problem. Yeah, which could be a fear-based thing. Yeah. So even if the choice is a good one for you, right? Like traveling.
That's what I'm trying to say. It might not feel as fulfilling if you're acting on it solely on an unhealthy motivation.
I agree. If you can clarify your why, your reasoning for it.
Right.
And make it a healthy or a helpful one, that can change the way that experience is for you. It can change how fulfilling that is for you, how positive it is. Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
Right. This is arguably probably my favorite quote.
Really?
On this list, I think. I want to say it's definitely one of the top 3. And it's by Mark Twain.
Oh.
And it is, give every day the chance to become the most beautiful day of your life.
And why is that your favorite?
Because I love how if you start off having a bad day, it doesn't mean that you just have to write off that day as a bad day. This still has the opportunity to be a really beautiful day. Like, don't be so quick to mark it off as a bad day. Give it time and give yourself grace to make it a beautiful day. I like how every day is an open book to that degree.
Right. It's a blank canvas.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it does. Like, every day does bring an opportunity to be one of the greatest days of your life.
Yeah. And interestingly, as I'm hearing this now, to kind of contradict that, not in a way that I disagree, but to point out how different a mindset can be where it's like, I don't want another day to come. That is, I think, a place we should all aspire to get to, where we're like, I can't wait for tomorrow. Like, I'm excited for tomorrow because there's opportunity instead of, great, I have to get up
tomorrow
again. Yeah, like that's also been a reality, I think, for both of us at different times. So I love that because I think in essence, that's what we should be able, that's the goal for humans, you know?
To feel that way about every day.
I really think that, yeah. So for anyone who isn't feeling that way, like, I hope you can get to that place.
Yeah, and if you are feeling stuck in this loop of, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine me being able to feel that way, do evaluate, where are you and who are you with and what can you do to create a better life for yourself?
Yeah.
Like, are you stuck? Can you choose out? Because we want that for you too. I know I felt stuck in college.
Yeah.
And as a kid, you're kind of stuck with your parents or your guardians or...
True. Yeah. So what would it take to be unstuck? And reach out. Like, reach out to people who can help you get unstuck.
Yeah. I think people is really the answer to that.
Good people.
Good people can get you out of stuff.
Yeah.
Or help you recognize that you're stuck in something because you might not even see it yourself.
Because I really want that quote to be what each and every one of our listeners gets to experience, what you get to experience. Like, that can be the better side of what life could be.
Right.
Yeah. This one is kind of funny because I think the quote is a little bit ironic.
Ooh.
Because I think it's a little bit more complex than it needs to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the quote is about complexity in a way. So this is a quote from Andy Benoit. I pray to God I said that right as well.
Benoit.
Believe it's French.
That checks out.
Benoit. I think that's right.
Oh.
Benoit. I looked it up earlier on one of those weird YouTube videos. Benoit. So the quote is, most geniuses, especially those who lead others, prosper not by deconstructing intricate complexities, but by exploiting unrecognized simplicities. I would say, to state this simpler, in a way, people can come off as a little bit arrogant, conceited when they're talking about really intricate stuff.
Oh,
and they're taking that apart bit by bit by bit by bit, right? Versus someone who just points out how simple something can be.
Oh, I love that. That's a good teacher that can do that. Like, I had a professor in college, music theory. He was a smart dude, but like, he talked to everybody. Like, he was trying to teach people how to do music theory, and he was talking to them like they should have their
degree
masters
by now.
in, music theory, and like, just talking in lingo like that. And he just couldn't understand it. But it seems smarter when I got the new teacher who had the knowledge and knew how to break it down.
Right.
So where you can actually learn the material, because somebody who just sounds fancy with all their knowledge but doesn't know how to break it down,
they can't teach. And also, what are you compensating for?
Right. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't know who this quote is by, but it's so true. And it's also really true for people pleasers, is to never lose yourself to find others.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Never lose yourself to find others.
Never lose yourself to find others. If you have to give up yourself or to become somebody else and to completely lose yourself in the dust to make friends or to be around other people. They're not meant to be around you.
They're not making friends with you.
No.
They're making friends with this other thing.
This other thing. If you feel like you have to abandon yourself to be likable and to be loved, like those aren't the people that you need in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Or the work that you need in your life. Like if you feel like you can't be yourself at your work, if you have to abandon yourself and be this different person at your job, it's like, that's not the right fit for you.
With work, I think it can be a little more flexible.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there is a work mode and there is a personal mode.
As long as you don't lose yourself. Like if you're yourself in work mode, that's different. You know?
Yeah.
But becoming something that you're not.
How can you sustain it, essentially?
Right,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying.
I'm not an adrenaline junkie. And skydiving isn't something that I want to do.
So you'd never be a skydiving instructor?
I would never. And I don't want to feel like I have to be that to be around a certain kind of people or like to be loved a certain kind of way. Like, no, just don't do that.
Yeah.
I know introverts can be like more extroverted around people that they're really close to or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can't embody being a complete extrovert. Like I can't sustain that.
Right. So jobs that bring that out in you, where you have to be people all the time, would probably be harder.
It would be harder, but it's like if I could be an introvert in that job, but not like literally pretend that I'm just like, oh my God, like all this, like all the time. Like I don't have that.
Yeah.
And I can't be that.
Right. So kind of being realistic too.
Yeah.
With what's gonna match your baseline personality.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that. I do. I see it a lot in personal stuff, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because
like losing your dreams in order to be in a certain relationship with somebody. That's losing yourself.
Could you also say that sometimes people, that's a choice that if they're not making it in fear, like let's say they're choosing, you know what, maybe I don't want to go this and this and this because I'm actually more content.
Oh, that's different.
Person. Okay.
Because that's what you actually...
Right. But you're saying like, wow, this person, they're going to leave me.
Right. If I want to pursue said thing, so I just can't do it.
Yeah, and if that thing is really important to you.
And just not prioritizing yourself at all to accommodate for everybody else.
Yeah. Because I think that happens a lot.
With people pleasers.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't lose yourself. Don't lose sight of yourself.
Yeah. I keep thinking of Lion King. Remember
who you are. Yeah, I mean, it's true though.
It is.
Remember who you are.
Simba. Pop off, bitch.
It's more like really just feeling like you can't be yourself.
Yeah. Even your professional self.
Yeah, your professional self. Like people are multi-layered. There's like different layers to who you are. But if you feel like you have to really go far from that, maybe reevaluate.
Yeah. 100%. This one is a Confucius quote.
Ooh.
And it is, when it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Doesn't mean you have to give up.
Yeah, your goals are never out of reach. Yeah. Isn't that a song? Never too far out of reach or something.
I don't know that.
It's never far out of reach. Oh, that's a song.
Not one I know.
Okay.
Sorry.
Dang it.
But basically, just don't give up on the thing. Maybe change how you're going to get to the thing.
Yeah, I like that the goal wasn't the problem.
Yeah. It's just maybe the methods.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a cute one. Or not cute, but it's a simple one.
It's wholesome.
It's wholesome, yeah.
This is also one of my favorite quotes. Like, top 3 for me.
Okay.
And it's from an animated movie. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. But today is a gift. That's why it's called the present.
What movie is this from?
Kung Fu Panda.
Okay.
The old turtle guy says it.
I don't think it's from that movie. I think it's...
I don't know, though.
It's set in that movie, but I think that's been around for a while.
A while?
Quote. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean, the first thing that came up was...
Yeah.
The old turtle guy. Kung Fu Panda.
Turtle guy.
I mean, really, the credit goes to the person who wrote the script. For the film.
Screenwriter, such and such. Your quote.
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda, Master Oogway.
Okay, well, maybe, I mean, I could be wrong. I just kind of thought, I've heard a similar...
Oh, Winnie the Pooh also said it.
The same thing?
The same thing. Yeah.
So do we credit the other bear?
Oh, Mike Ditka? Rascal Flat. Wait. I don't know who came up with it, but I just know that it's in Winnie the Pooh and Kung Fu Panda.
Damn. Two Bears said it.
Yesterday is. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I thought that was kind of close.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, bother. Yesterday. I'm not going to try.
You did try.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, bother.
Oh, bother. I'm not going to do this. It's not going to come out right. But I like that quote.
Yeah.
That's
Same.
awesome.
So I got another James Clear quote.
James Clear.
James Clear. This one's really good. This one helps with my
issues.
Yeah. This one helps with my imposter syndrome.
Ooh.
So I think this one's going to really hit home for some people. The quote is, "Don't feel qualified? Nobody does. You can only be qualified to do that which you have already accomplished or trained for. Anything new is accomplished by unqualified people."
Oh, I like that.
So you want to do something different, you're going to be the first person to do that, or one of the few first ones. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's always a point where you're not going to have the quote-unquote experience for something because you have to get the experience.
You have to. Everybody gets in that spot.
Yeah. So I like this because it really counteracts imposter syndrome. It's kind of a diss, really. Like, no, everyone's unqualified at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Everyone starts that way.
Yeah. And everyone who's trying to do something different or new, right?
Yeah.
Like, some of these inventions that have happened, those people would be considered unqualified.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then they make this thing.
They're
And they're like, yeah. But you have to. Yeah. Quite the transformation.
Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. Wow. What if you still have the qualifications and the training and the experience, but you still feel unqualified? That's just self-esteem.
I think it is, but it's also, I mean, you're like spitting in the face of James Clear.
I'm sorry, James. Don't take it personally.
Because he does say you can only qualify to do that which you have already accomplished or trained for.
Yeah.
There's a good concept, which is instead of putting, I'm an aspiring this in your bio, on your website, coming from like a freelancer entrepreneurial standpoint here, if there's something that you're wanting to do, if you've written anything, you're technically a writer, right?
Yeah.
If I've written a piece of music, I'm a songwriter.
Yeah.
If I've mixed a song, I'm a mixer. If I've edited a podcast, I'm a podcast editor.
Yeah.
Instead of always saying you're aspiring as something, say that you are it. Like, state it and own it. So if you've trained, if you have qualifications, you really are doing yourself a disservice
by not owning that.
And I struggle with this. I'm not saying it's everyone else's problem and not mine. Like, I have trouble with this, but it's true. Like, I'm doing a disservice to myself for the hard work. You know what I mean? The preparation.
Yeah. You're not being on your own team.
I'm not being on my own team. No.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this in detail, actually, me and you, because that's, I think, one of our struggles for ourselves is we totally forget what it's taken to get certain skills.
Yeah.
Whether that's personal or professional. And instead of recognizing that we've got them and they're working, we just hone in on whatever the fuck we kind of did wrong.
Yeah.
Or any of our insecurities about those things. We put that so forward that we're like, that makes us that we shouldn't be considered good. We shouldn't be considered skilled. We shouldn't be considered, a pro? Even though some of these things we've been doing for a long time.
Yeah.
These insecurities really do kind of weasel their way in there. And kind of get in the way of some logic. Let's be real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. But that's when, again, I would also say, look at the evidence of what you've done about doing things to counteract your anxiety.
Counteract the fear and
create evidence for yourself.
Right.
Even if it's starting small. Like, that goes back to that.
And keep it around you. Like, put it up where you can see it.
One of the best things that I started doing, and I've kind of dropped the ball on it a little bit, but at some point I want to do an episode just on the app Notion that I use and how I structure my life. But there's just a technique. You can do this in a fucking notebook. Like, it is so simple, where you write down your wins for the week. You write them down.
It's so good.
You write down what your wins were and you review them. once a week, once a month, once a quarter, whatever.
Yep.
And you look back and you see all the things that you are proud of that you did in the days, weeks, and months prior.
Yeah.
You build that shit up.
Yeah.
That is only going to propel you forward in a way that will amaze you, I think. It'll surprise you.
Yeah.
So create that evidence for yourself 1,000%. It'll do awesome things for you.
Yeah.
And it's all you. Like, it's not someone else. It's you.
Right.
It's your record.
You wrote it down.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep track of that. Just write it down once a week. Write down a couple things.
You're proud of yourself.
You were proud that you did.
Your wins.
Yes, please.
I love that. It's kind of cool that we're talking about success and how to build that up because this is like my next quote.
It's
about success, so it's just perfect timing. Success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. It's by Maya Angelou, I believe.
Oh my God.
Liking yourself, then liking what you do, and liking how you do it.
That's good.
That's
that covers
really
all
good.
your bases,
Yep.
I think.
Mm-hmm. That really resonates with me. I just feel like it's just true, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I have no qualms with that.
Because you can literally apply that to anything.
Right. And I like the liking how. Like, you did it right by yourself or right by other people. You're not a scumbag in the process of
You like the way that you did it.
Yeah.
For a reason.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's cool. That's dope.
You're dope.
You're dope-est.
Oh my God. Stop.
This one is from a Stoic, Marcus Aurelius.
Ooh.
And I like this. I think this is really applicable for social media, comment wars, politics. This is something that I like because I think this is not how a lot of people view social media, especially like political conversations and stuff. And this is, you always have the option of no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. These things are not asking to be judged by you. Leave them alone.
Ooh, wait. Can you say that one again? Just because I really... Okay.
Yeah. You always have the option of no opinion.
Of no opinion. Okay.
There's never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. These things are not asking to be judged by you. Leave them alone.
Ooh.
So if you don't like someone's photo, if you don't like their post, maybe just leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Because the photo itself doesn't give a crap about what you think.
Now, there is truth in that if you're posting on social media, you're kind of asking for people to give you attention.
The person who's posting the photo, but the photo itself doesn't care.
Yeah, what I mean, though, is that people can post all day long and look for that validation or whatever. But at the end of the day, there is no rule that says you have to go and do this and say that thing.
Why?
You know what I'm saying? And so there are some situations where sometimes it's just best to let it be.
Let it be. Let it be.
I'm not saying...
Let it be.
The first part of this says you always have the option of no opinion. Sometimes I have an opinion. I just don't feel the need to share it. Do you know what I'm saying? And sometimes... there are some people where it's not worth sharing.
It's not worth it. No.
So to save my own energy, take care of my well-being,
feelings,
I'm just gonna not fuck with it.
Yeah.
You know, if someone's crossing a line with my own boundaries and stuff, that's different, right? But if it's just a conversation that I could just not be a part of, that's gonna become less of a conversation and more of a hysteria, I'd rather not. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Another one by Mel Robbins. Okay, so Mel Robbins is my James Clear, I guess.
I guess so.
I guess that's what it's turning into.
The woman after your own heart.
Oh my God. I mean, you're not wrong. There's only one of you, and there will never be another one. That's your power. Just like existing as who you are is powerful.
Yeah, because it's true. There is no one else like you.
And no one can take that away from you.
Except you.
Except you.
By being someone that you're not, like you said earlier.
Yeah. By losing yourself. That's doing a disservice to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That is so true. Like, even after we go, there is no one else that's going to be quite like you.
No.
Not exactly.
Not exactly.
No. Even identical twins aren't exactly like each other.
No, they're two different souls. Two different
They're still
minds.
two different people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so good.
Yeah.
There's value to who you are, you know?
Right. even on your lowest day, it's just something to hold on to.
You are unique, and that is a good thing. That is a power. It's not a weakness.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. You can find strength in being yourself.
Yeah. That's so good. My final James Clear quote. Ready?
James. Okay.
Oh, James.
Oh, James.
James. This one is probably one of the most popular quotes from his book, Atomic Habits.
Okay.
Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. So if I decide to not text Noah about the thing that bothered me or whatever,
Still a choice.
It's a choice. I'm casting a vote for, am I fighting for this relationship? Am I not? Am I speaking up for my needs? Am I not? Am I doing this thing I said I would do? Am I not? Every one of those decisions, which can be overwhelming, right? If you look at it as a big picture in the course of a day, like, oh my God, the amount of choices I'm making.
Yeah.
But that also means you have so much power.
Yeah, you can find power in existing as yourself and making choices for yourself.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of choices you make in a day.
Yeah, they affect a lot.
They affect a lot. And that's actually kind of going with another quote that I have as well.
Oh, go ahead. Go for it.
And this is an anonymous quote that I have.
Okay.
But it goes right along with this, which is, when people talk about traveling to the past, they worry about radically changing the present by doing something small. But barely anyone in the present really thinks that they can radically change the future by doing something small.
Oh my God.
So every little action you do,
it
can change your future.
It does.
So the small consistencies, the believing in yourself, the taking a small action, the building up of a little list that becomes a big list of your wins, all those things compound and make this amazing thing for yourself. It helps so much.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And all it takes is a step to start. It just takes a step. It just takes a little baby step to start it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, I just want to sit in that one. Like, that one's so good.
Yeah. Should I say it again?
Yeah. Can you say it again?
Okay. When people talk about traveling to the past, they worry about radically changing the present by doing something small. But barely anyone in the present really thinks that they can radically change the future by doing something small.
It's just so true. Like, it's so true. And we do only think that way. Like, oh,
time travel this, time travel that.
To change the present. And but like, the present will ultimately change the future. The small things that we do, they hold power.
And so much of that is in your control.
It is.
Each of our control.
God, I love that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's one of my favorites out of this whole thing. These are all so good, but this is definitely another one of my personal favorites. And it's by Albert Einstein.
Oh.
Everybody is a genius. And what a nice thing coming from Albert Einstein. Oh my God, calling me a genius? Wow, thank you.
Thanks, boo.
Thank you. Everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Because I feel like that's literally my life to a certain degree. Like, I felt like some expectations that was laid before us that we felt just pressure to like mold ourselves into, but like didn't really align with who we were and what we valued.
So we're less than.
Yeah. We're not as smart.
Right.
And that's something I'm, relearning. And I love that.
It's such a simple analogy, right? That speaks so much truth. So much truth. Because how often are we comparing as fish? How often are we comparing ourselves to a fucking horse?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. A horse isn't going to swim that great underwater compared to a fish.
Doesn't have fucking gills.
No.
Right?
It's not going to breathe underwater. Like,
it's got a different set of cards. It's got a different set of skills. It's got a different anatomy, body, whatever. Like, 100%.
And you got to respect what you are.
Right.
If you're a fish, you got to respect that.
Yeah.
And don't beat yourself up for not being something else.
Yeah. And work to that strength.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one, man. That's like a really...
Albert Einstein calling me a genius.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Thank you. Oh my God. So good.
This is from Zig Ziglar. I don't know if you remember this, but we had a book of his.
Did we?
One of our parents had like a parenting book or something from him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah. I remember seeing like Zig Ziglar and thinking, that's a different name. As a kid.
Huh.
Yeah.
Zig Ziglar.
Yeah. But I really like this quote and kind of nips procrastination in the bud.
Oh.
Which is do it and then you will feel motivated to do it.
Yeah, that's what Mel Robbins talks about a lot. Is like you got to do the thing. You can't wait for the day that you feel motivated to do
You're
it.
You're never going to feel that.
You're never going to feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, that's
do it,
good.
And then you'll feel motivated. And it's so true with things that once I start it, I'll keep going.
Yeah.
I'll keep going.
Yeah.
You know, it's the starting the thing that is the hard part.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
For me. And a way to also kind of counteract this too, it may or may not be a little bit of another James Clear tip.
Oh, no, really?
Maybe, but is to give yourself a smaller amount of time to say, I'm just going to clean for 5 minutes.
There you go. That trying
just a little
bit.
I'll set a timer for 5 minutes and I don't have to continue after.
That's nice.
But I just I have to clean for 5 minutes. And then once you get into the groove, you're like, you know what? I'm really liking this podcast. I'm really liking the progress I'm making.
Let me
5 minutes is going to become 2 hours. And I feel good that I did this. Just start. Set a timer for something small.
Yeah.
And do it.
Yeah.
You know?
I like how he consistently talks about things being so small so you can keep it consistent.
You have to. So that it's digestible. You can't tackle
a mountain every day.
No.
Yeah.
You have to see what the mountain is and create a route that is one step at a time. You know what I mean? You can't tackle it all.
Yeah. I love that. This quote, it says it's by the Stoic Emperor.
Okay. I don't know what that is, what that means.
But yeah, I don't know what it means either. But it is, if you are easily provoked, you are easily controlled.
Oh my God.
If you have no self-control, like...
Can you say it again?
Yeah. If you are easily provoked, you are easily controlled. That does give a person a lot of power if they can affect you.
Any person in power, right?
Yeah.
If they're provoking you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Any friend, right, that knows how to push any family member.
Buttons, you're giving them the power.
Yeah. Reminds me of an SNL skit. I don't know if anyone else has seen this skit. It is so funny.
What is it?
I think it's Alec Baldwin is this dad character, right?
Uh-huh.
And he has a date over for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And he has this kid.
Oh, no.
played by another SNL cast member. And she is throwing fits in the background. And he is ignoring her, just flat out ignoring her. And she's like throwing shit, setting stuff on fire.
Oh, God.
Spilling like food on his date's hair and shit. And he's like, don't give her the power. Just keep ignoring her. Don't give her the power.
Oh.
And all she wants is her dad's attention. Like, that's the whole point. And he's supposed to be some kind of like child psychologist, right? And he's like, don't give her the power. Don't give her the power. It's so funny. It's so funny. It really is. Because it's just extreme. And the girl who acts the kid, she's like so dramatic and like just throwing the biggest tantrums you've ever seen. It's hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
So good. That's an SNL skit for you guys that you should totally Google on YouTube.
Don't give her the power.
Don't give her the power. You give her the power if you look her. Don't look at her.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Don't give her the power. Wow.
I love this one. This is
Tell me why.
Tell me why.
I ain't nothing but...
This one is from Kenichi Ome. I believe I'm saying his name right.
Sorry, Kenichi, for saying it wrong.
I apologize if it's wrong.
Yeah, but you're so bad.
So mean
so
and disrespectful.
Yeah.
I love this because
I'm glad.
This is so true. No, it's so true. So true. Rowing harder doesn't help if the boat is headed in the wrong direction.
Someone had to say it. That's amazing.
That is so
it doesn't
simple
help.
And so true. You could be rowing that boat like no one's ever rowed a boat.
But you're just going to get there faster to the wrong destination.
100,000%. So check your boat's direction. Check your direction.
Yeah, where you want to go.
Where are you headed?
Where are you headed? Oh, I love that. That's amazing. God, that's really good. This is one I literally saw today.
Really?
Yeah. And I just think the timing was interesting because we just decided to talk on quotes.
Oh my God.
Another one from Mel Robbins. That was weird.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I just did the reverse. I inhaled.
Yeah, that sounds really weird in my ears.
Sorry. My bad.
If you're always having to be the bigger person, maybe you shouldn't be around so many little people.
Can you say that again? Oh my
Yes.
God.
If you're always having to be the bigger person, maybe you shouldn't be around so many little people.
That's kind of a knowing your worth.
Yeah. And knowing where your worth comes from. Like,
Is it from helping these smaller people?
these smaller people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Damn.
Yeah.
Pop off, Mel Robbins.
Mel Robbins.
This is one that Noah actually turned me on to.
Oh, the hubs?
Yeah, the hubs.
Wow.
This is one that he brought to light. And it's by Carl Jung.
Okay.
I hope to God I'm saying his name right too.
Probably.
I'm so insecure about that. That is an insecurity I have, like saying names wrong or words wrong.
Yeah.
I did it earlier. That's partly why. I'm going to edit it out, but
Oh, because of fragrance?
I said fragrance instead of fragrance, and I'm pretty sure nobody says fragrance. And
it's probably New Zealand.
no, it's not.
Fragrance.
No.
No?
No, I think it's from growing up and not thinking about fragrance as much as a kid.
Oh.
And just,
Don't worry about it. I
know.
say stuff wrong all the time. All the time.
I can't think of a time, but sure. Thanks for the sympathy.
I get words like mixed up really easily.
Yeah. Anyways, Carl Jung. I keep wanting to say Jung.
Yeah.
Carl Jung.
You can say both just to...
Carl Jung.
Wow. That sounded really hard to say. Okay.
Say it 5 times fast kind of thing. His quote is, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves."
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing that I think of is, if you're irritated because someone is kind of lazy, right? And they're kind of being inconvenienced to you, and you're like, God, I just wish they would just fucking pick up their shit and
Mm-hmm.
Why are you reacting so strongly to that?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
why is it that?
Right. And sometimes, I believe, based on his teachings and stuff, it can be because we're suppressing that part of ourselves.
That makes sense. And almost like jealousy, not being able to express that part of ourselves.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So if someone's doing something and it's making you mad, right?
Mhm.
And I'm not just talking about someone who is, again, imposing on a boundary, is attacking, insulting you, right? Like, not just obvious, like blatant aggressions. I'm talking things that you find annoying, things that you find inconvenient to you and the way you prefer things, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe focusing on, why does that put you off? Why? Yeah. And not looking so much at the other person for that answer, but yourself for that answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I respond strongly to something. And again, what provokes you,
Yeah.
I can't control you. But I respond kind of strongly to something because I do fear of becoming that thing myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have such a disgust for it.
But then I would say, why do you have disgust? Why is it bad? Like, why, if you judged it as bad, is because you were punished as a child for that being bad?
Or hurt by that behavior.
Yeah. Maybe you wish you could be that a little bit to the person who hurt you, right?
Right.
If it's, totally.
Wow. That's good stuff. Dang. Another one from Albert Einstein.
Oh my God.
Oh
Pop
my God.
off.
Albert.
I almost said Alan Einstein.
Allie.
It's Alan, his brother, and Allie, his
No.
sister. Allie, Albert,
Alberta.
and Allie. Wait. Alan, Alberta, Allie.
Oh my God. La, la, la. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value.
Wow.
To being valuable in the world for others, for yourself. And not just being like a success.
In a way, thinking about how can you make it selfless and not so selfish.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
And I think this is also kind of thinking from a selfish point of success or like just focused on making money kind of a thing.
And not giving back to people.
And not giving back. Yeah.
Yeah. Appreciating those who have helped you.
Right.
That's good. Go, Albert.
Go, Al.
This is from Sarah Blakely.
Ooh, who's she?
So she's the founder of Spanx. And this is her quote. "Don't be intimidated by what you don't know. That can be your greatest strength and ensure that you do things differently from everyone else."
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's also embracing being a little bit unique.
Yeah. And not having ego, realizing that there's more stuff that you can learn.
Sure.
and that other people are going to have strengths, and you can use other people's strengths to strengthen your own. Everybody can work together towards the same goal. Realizing that other people have greater strengths than you and not being like intimidated by that.
Right.
But knowing how to appreciate that.
Maybe learn from it.
And that's a strength that being humble and being able to nourish other people's strengths, like that's really awesome.
There's also the concept too of if you don't know a whole lot about how everybody does it, I believe there tends to be a little bit more of an out-of-the-box thinking because you have someone who isn't seeing it from the perspective of everyone else who's an expert in this field. You're seeing it from someone who has an outside perspective, and you might see something different that you can market, that you can invent, that you can support, that you can create. Just you might look at it differently. And that is a good thing. That can be a good thing.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like, I've had so much soda. Coke Zero Sugar. This one's from another movie by Gandalf the Grey or the White, depending.
He was gray.
He was gray when he had this quote.
Gandalf the Grey.
And this is out of context. So Frodo and Gandalf are like in a cave.
Having a one-on-one.
Having a pep talk.
Session.
A little therapy sesh with the old man. And
Minds of Moria, I believe.
Yeah. And it starts with Frodo speaking, and he's like, I wish it need not have happened in my time, said Frodo. So basically, they're talking on terrible things happening in their time. And Gandalf is like, so do I, said Gandalf. And so do all who live to see such times. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us.
I just love that.
I love that. It's so beautiful. That scene is really beautiful, too.
Because it's true. So much shit does happen that you wish didn't happen in your lifetime.
Like
that you
inflation.
Like COVID. Fucking pandemic, right? Like, there are things that would have been nice to just not have.
Would have been nice to not had to see that in our time.
Yeah. Or to see the destruction. Like, in the case of Lord of the Rings, there is destruction that's going on, right? And that happens so much in the real world. So that's a really relatable quote. We were talking on this quote earlier. Oh my God. So should we just do a podcast episode where it's just burps from all these episodes?
No.
We were talking on Leah's Lord of the Rings quote earlier, and when I was trying to find the scene that it was from, I came across one from Samwise Gamgee.
Ah, Sam.
Which is when he's talking to Frodo. I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. That scene, my heart melts every time.
It's such a powerful...
It is.
Was that originally in the book? I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't read the Lord of the Rings books. I read The Hobbit.
Yeah.
But I love that. I love that so much. He is the definition of a real friend to me. He's underrated, honestly. I don't think he gets enough love. So go Sam.
Go Sam. And that represents that when somebody's carrying such a strong emotional burden, too. It's like... a friend can really carry you through that. Like, they can be right there and support you through that.
100%. They can't
take it away.
No. But they can hold your hand.
Right.
And they can grieve with you, and they can be there for you.
Right. This quote is anonymous. We don't know who wrote it, but it's beautiful. The worst thing you've ever done doesn't preclude you from contributing something amazing to the world. Again, with the whole, past doesn't define you kind of thing. Like, you can rewrite the script. Like, you can... It doesn't mean that you're scarred from not contributing something amazing to the world.
Your past does not equal your future.
Yeah.
And like we talked about earlier, the small choices you're making right now can really affect that future for you. Yeah.
And that can even mean just, appreciating yourself more and not losing yourself. And you know what I'm saying? Contributing something amazing to the world is also understanding that there is no one else like you and being able to appreciate that and understanding your strengths and all this, I don't know, all this self-love, self-care stuff, I feel just.
Yeah, and also recognizing your own power.
Right.
Every one of us has so much potential and so much power within us. And sometimes our brains kind of take it down, take the power away from us a little bit.
Yeah.
They're working against, not for us. Yeah. This is the final quote that I have.
Okay.
By Jack Cornfield.
Aww.
And it is...
I live in a cornfield. You know that song?
No.
By Julian Smith. I live in a cornfield today.
The fuck?
It's-
Why?
yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
I was thinking Children of the Corn.
No.
Hashtag horror movie.
It's like a meme song.
This is the first time
I
hearing
live
it.
in a It's really bad.
It sounds like Friday. Rebecca Black Friday.
It's worse than Friday.
Friday. Okay. Jack Cornfield says. Jack Cornfield says, if your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete.
Oh, I love that. Oh, but you have to know who you are.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Be kind to yourself.
Yeah. Can you say that one more time?
If your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete.
Yeah. It's kind of like loving yourself
Mhm.
in order to love others.
And compassion's a really good word.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of us think of people who have really been selfless, right? Who
Yeah.
are really giving, who are really understanding, who just love on other people. And you gotta it starts here. It starts with you.
Like, how do you show compassion to yourself?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel weird saying that out loud.
Uh-huh.
That's so crazy.
It's a strong
Showing
word.
compassion. Crazy. That is such a beautiful word. I love that. I gotta work on that.
Yeah.
My last quote by Anonymous.
So many anonymous.
So many anonymous.
Anonymous.
Banana.
Phenomena.
Oh my God. Anonymous. Find someone who is proud to have you, scared to lose you, fights for you, appreciates you, respects you, cares for you, and loves you unconditionally. I would argue that person can also be yourself.
It is 100% yourself.
Yeah.
It has to start there.
Yeah, start there.
Yeah. 100%. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Be scared to lose yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's healthy.
Yeah.
'Cause,
That's a good
yeah.
fear. I'd argue that's a good fear to have.
Yeah, I see that. I'm seeing good fears now.
Yeah.
I'm understanding that concept a bit better as
Yeah.
we've gone through this.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love that. Can you say it one more time?
Yeah.
Close us out with it.
Find someone who is proud to have you, scared to lose you, fights for you, appreciates you, respects you, cares for you, and loves you unconditionally.
And then can you say it one more time? And instead of saying find someone, replace it with be someone.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Be someone who is proud to have you, scared to lose you, fights for you, appreciates you, respects you, cares for you, and loves you unconditionally.
And with that,
We love you,
we're rooting for you.
and you matter. Have a great week, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Go love yourself.